All right, let's dive into a topic that can be a real headache for a lot of people. How to actually get your hands on your credit report when all you have is an ITIN or an individual taxpayer identification number. If you've ever tried and just hit a wall, trust me, you are in the right place. So you know the drill, right? You got your ITIN, you head over to one of those free credit report websites, you start typing in your information, feeling pretty confident, and then bam, rejected, system error. It's a super common and, let's be honest, an incredibly frustrating experience.
Okay, the very first thing to understand is that this isn't on you. You didn't do anything wrong. The simple fact is, those online portals, they were built with one and only one type of number in mind, the Social Security number. So when you enter an ITIN, the system just doesn't know what to do with it and basically says, nope, doesn't compute.
To really figure out the solution, we've got to get to the root of the problem. And it really all comes down to a pretty simple idea. You're trying to use one kind of key for a lock that was built for a totally different key.
So, what is this key we're talking about? Well, an ITIN is a 9-digit number that always starts with the number 9. It's handed out by the IRS, and its one official job is to process federal taxes. It's basically a way to make sure that anyone who needs to file a tax return in the US can do so.
And this slide right here, it makes the difference crystal clear. You've got the ITIN from the IRS, strictly for taxes. Then you have the SSN from a whole different agency, the Social Security Administration, which is used for tracking earnings and has pretty much become the standard ID number for everything else. That's why those online systems are built for it. Your ITIN, that tax key, just isn't designed to fit in that general identity lock.
So, if the digital front door is locked solid, how do we get what we need? Simple. We go old school. The answer is to completely bypass those automated online systems and request your reports the manual way, by mail. And you know, the process itself is really straightforward. It's just 3 steps. First, you write a letter. Second, you gather up your proof of identity. And third, you mail that package off to each of the 3 main credit bureaus. And that's a really important detail. You have to do this separately for Experian, TransUnion, and Equifax. Now here's the exact checklist of what you need to put in that envelope. It's the basics, right? Your name, birthday, recent addresses, a copy of an ID, and proof of your current address, like a utility bill. But listen up, because this next part is the absolute most critical piece of the puzzle. When you write your number down, you have to clearly label it as an ITIN. That little step prevents them from thinking it's a messed up SSN and kicking it out. Okay, getting your report is awesome, but it's really just the beginning. Let's shift gears and talk strategy. Because the real power here is in using your ITIN to proactively build a solid financial story for yourself here in the US. And this isn't some secret workaround we're talking about. Financial institutions are totally on board. I mean, look at this quote from Express Credit Union. They flat out say an ITIN is a recognized tool for everything from opening a bank account to actually establishing credit. So, what does that look like in the real world? Well, you can take your ITIN and open a bank account, which is that all-important first step. From there, you can look into things like a secured credit card or even a personal loan. You'll find that credit unions, especially, often have programs specifically for ITIN holders. Every time you use these tools responsibly, you're adding another positive chapter to your credit history. All right, now for a really important piece of information that a lot of people miss. Once you get all 3 of your reports back in the mail, you might lay them out side by side and notice something weird. They might not match up perfectly, and there's a good reason for that. And here it is, the big secret. The bank that issued your credit card or your loan, they don't have to report your activity to all 3 credit bureaus. It's totally voluntary. So they might report to Experian and Equifax, but not TransUnion. Or maybe just one of them. It's not a mistake, it's just how the system works. This chart is a perfect example of what I'm talking about. You could have 3 active accounts, but as you can see, your TransUnion report might only be showing 2 of them. And that is precisely why you can't just check one report and call it a day. To get the complete picture, the full story, you absolutely have to look at all three.
You know, when you zoom out, this whole process, getting your report, building your credit, it's about so much more than just a 3-digit score. Your ITIN is a powerful key that lets you create an official, documented record of your financial life here. It's a fundamental tool for laying the groundwork for your future.
So, there you have it. We've talked about the problem, why it happens, the old school fix, and the long-term strategy. You now know exactly how to get around that online roadblock and take charge of your own credit information. So the only real question left is, what kind of financial story are you going to build?